If I talk negatively about my parents, then I'm being disrespectful. So if I say anything negative about my parents, I feel guilty that I'm being a bad person. I was taught, and I've heard it from all kinds of people, that we're supposed to honor and respect our parents. That was drilled into me as a child. In fact, I was told that the Bible commands me to honor my parents. It's one of the 10 commandments. So I feel that, and that even that I'm going against God, and God's going to be upset with me if I say anything negative about my parents. Where I think it's important to start with this is to understand that phrase, honor your parents. Many people that use that assign to it a definition for honor that is not actually an accurate definition. It's a distorted definition. So they take the word respect and actually give it a new definition that's quite unhealthy. But you get drilled that drilled into you as a kid. It trains your conscience. And so now you feel guilty if you look honestly at your parents. So let me show you what their definition, how they define respect. They basically say if you respect your parents, or to respect your parents, you can never say anything negative about them. In other words, you have to lie about your parents. So how can that be right, that now you have to lie, do something you know you shouldn't do, tell lies? But that's what they're saying you have to do to respect your parents. You can't look at them honestly. You have to be dishonest. Something's wrong with that. But then their definition of respect says that you have to do whatever your parents want you to do. But what happens if they want you to do something unhealthy? How can that be right? To honor your parents means I got to obey and do whatever they want, even if it's wrong. Something wrong with that. Also, they mean by their term definition of respect is that you can't say anything to challenge them, their opinions, to disagree with them, to confront them. They always have to be right. They always have to look good. Do you want to know what their definition of respect actually is saying? Is that you have to let them be a narcissist and you have to make them look good. That the children have to be the mirrors of the narcissist that always reflect back this wonderful picture of the narcissist that is totally inaccurate. That is not a healthy definition of respect. That is a distorted definition that narcissists developed in order to let them continue to be narcissists and never have anybody hold them to account. And because children are so malleable and influenceable, they can gaslight and indoctrinate children with this wrong definition of respect and make them think they're doing a healthy thing by always making the narcissist look good. So, what does this term respect actually mean? It means that you treat your parents with respect, even though they may not earn it, even though you may not feel tons of warm feelings for them, you still choose to treat them with respect. But what does that mean? Well, let me give you 4 types of respect. So there's respect that we give to every life. Just because it's alive, it has value. So we take care of it, we meet its needs. That is inherent value, requires a certain level of respect to every human being. Secondly, there's the type of respect that people earn because of their accomplishments. So they've worked hard, they've attained a certain goal, they've now got a certain position, they've earned a certain degree, and we give them a certain respect because they've worked so hard, they've accomplished so much. Then there's a third type of respect that we give to people who just have this exemplary character. They're so honest, caring, loving, virtuous. They just have a special respect because they've earned it by their character. Then there's a fourth type of respect, and that's because of a person's position. So a police officer. We give them respect because they have a position of authority. Now, they may be a terrible person. They may be corrupt, but they wear the badge. And because of that, because of their position, they earn a certain respect. So here's what I want you to see. Healthy parents, they should have all 4 levels of respect. They have inherent value, yes, but then they've earned it because of virtue, because of what they do, because they love, they work hard. They've earned the respect of the child. They're healthy people. But then they have the position of being their parent, a position of authority. But what happens in complex trauma? Often you don't have 2 and 3 as part of that parent's life. They're not healthy. They're not virtuous. They're not loving. They're not kind. They haven't earned respect. They're actually very sick, unhealthy people, but they still have 1 and 4. They're human, and they're in the position of my parent, the authority. So what do I do? Well, I still will treat them with respect, even though they haven't earned my respect. And what does that mean? Well, if I treat somebody with respect, then I want a relationship where they treat me with respect, that we are equals, that my needs and my opinions matter just as much as theirs. That's the only way a relationship can be healthy. So I will treat them with respect, and if they don't treat me with respect, then I set up a boundary. That is actually carrying out, I respect you enough that I am not going to allow your behavior, but I'm not going to hurt you and try to hurt you back, because I will treat you with respect. But there will be a boundary because I respect myself, and I'm not going to let you treat me with disrespect. So to treat somebody with respect means I can say no to them. I can set boundaries with them. I can even not allow them in my life. So respect doesn't mean they can do whatever they want. I always have to say positive things. No, that's the distorted thing. Respect is all about, I will not do hurtful things to you. I will treat you with love, but that will include boundaries. That will require that you treat me the same way. And if not, the boundaries will get more severe. That is a relationship with respect. So what I find for many people who grow up in complex trauma is, as they look at their parents haven't earned respect at all. Their parents have been abusive, neglectful. They have not seen their children, cared about their children, understood their children, got their children. And so their children don't feel respect for their parents in their limbic brain because their parents have hurt them so much they feel a lot of hurt and anger. But what I want them to see is they can still go to their cortex and choose to treat their parents with respect. Now that might be they hardly interact with them because their parents are so unhealthy. But when they do see them, they still don't do hurtful things. They still are polite. They still treat them as having value. But there's boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. So this sorting out respect becomes an important part of thinking through this whole parent piece.